How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Listen to your energy so early in the morning. That mean, that's a sign of a true creative person because when we wake up in
Oh,
the morning, we're eager to find opportunity.
yes, for sure.
When you do take that first step of the day, what is it like for you knowing that anything can happen at any time, but your heart is going to be embraced for it?
Oh, it's motivating, honestly. It's motivating. It gives me energy and it keeps me focused and on my feet.
Is that, I know that you took theater in school and stuff like that. Do you ever find yourself going, all right, Shadale, is this the actor in you or is this the real you? Do you ever go through those moments?
Yes, all of the time.
Yep, yep.
All of it's real it's real experience and it's real feelings, but maybe how I say it or portray myself, it may, come off a little it may come off a little theater. But I'm not sure. I don't know if that's my personality or not.
Oh,
It
I've been
still makes
quoted to say people always go, "How come you always sound so happy?" And I finally there are times I'll look at him and say, "You have no idea that you're standing in front of the greatest actor you will ever meet."
Oh man, really? For real though, because people like I love morning. I love getting up early because it allows you to get more things done
Yep.
and you're doing things different. I like to be different. But I used to work at a restaurant. I was a barista and I had to be there at 6 a.m. So I was getting up at 4 anyway.
Mm.
And people would come in early and I'll be smiles. And I was like, you must be new here. And I wasn't new. I was like, no, why do you say that? I thought I was doing a bad job. He was like, because you're so excited. You're so happy. You have so much energy this early. I'm like, I like to make people's lives a little easier because everyone goes through things. So I'm not going to
Right.
be the reason why you're even more down.
Well, is that because that as creative people, we believe that the receiver of our energy is more important than what is going on in what could be, like a
Yes.
trip or a stumble?
Yes, that is exactly what it is. Because we're creative. We literally come into this industry and come into our job, our careers to make people happy.
Yep.
So you have to know this, the psychology behind it. And it becomes muscle memory. It becomes who we are. So it may come off a little, but it is. But we eventually become that person. So I think it is genuine.
Growing up in the church and becoming a part of that worship band, I mean, I've always looked at the worship band as being, they are not the opening act. What they're doing is they're reaching outward to help people that might enjoy music but don't like listening to people speak. And your place in that worship band is so important.
Yes. Yes, it is. And I agree with that. I agree. We do. It's not the opening act, but we do open up the atmosphere
Mm-hmm.
and bring people's attention in.
And don't you think that one of the greatest inventions in modern day churches, though, putting the lyrics up on the screen so that we we know what you're saying?
I think that is perfect. Now, not for me. I cannot read music while I sing because I'll mess up.
Yeah.
Like it's really bad. Yeah. I'll mess because I'll get so dependent on those lyrics. Even if I know the song and it doesn't come up, I'll mess up. So I don't depend on it, but there's lots of people that it definitely does help, and I think it's an amazing invention.
So now, what do you do during those moments? I mean, Stephen Furtick always talks about this in the way that you're up there delivering those lyrics and songs and stuff like that, and the people that have come to the community and inside the church, there are those that are crossed, their arms are crossed, and they're frowning, but they're there to be lifted up. How do you, as a creative mind, put up with moments like that where you look at them and you're going, "Oh my God"? You got to stay positive no matter what.
You do, because you have to take your mind off of what you've been. And I know it sounds weird, but you have to take your mind off of all you've been taught and really think about God and what He's created. Like Jesus is, when He was down here, He tells us to go spread the good news of the gospel and the Creator, our Creator. That's who He points to. So to share good news does not mean only sing gospel music or sing this certain music. It means to share your testimony and your life story. And when you write and when you sing certain songs, I pick my songs wisely that I can relate to, regardless of whether it's a love song or a breakup song or whatever. If I can relate to it and I know you can relate to it, that is sharing the gospel, because the gospel is good news. And if you can relate to my story and you can get past your feelings and I give you a greater feeling, you get hope, that is good news. That is a gospel. And with God being a part of my life, you should know that we're all connected.
Yep,
and it shouldn't matter where you get the information from. It matters that you get the information.
The message for the past couple of weeks inside Elevation has been based on the transition between Simon into Peter, and that no matter how Peter led people and he was the rock and everything like that, he was still Simon inside. I mean, it teaches us even as real people. I mean, even with Shadale, don't you become Peter with Shadale? And there's also that the roots of who you really are.
Yeah, exactly. You become one with who God reveals that you are. And once you know your purpose in life and you keep God first and you keep praying and you keep holding his hand and allowing him to hold yours, he's not going to lead you astray. And you have to trust that the path that you are on is because he allowed it and ordained it. So don't worry about the other stuff. You just walk down your path and keep him first.
So when you're on NBC's The Voice and you're singing an Ariana Grande song and she's sitting right there in the front row, come on now, how do you keep it together?
You don't look at her. You don't look at her to the end of into the last lyric. Then you give her that peek and like, okay, you're not gonna mess up my performance. Really, I'm being honest. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, what's so great about that show is that it reveals so much about everybody who's on the show. The very fact that we've seen Ariana Grande without that ponytail was mind-blowing, shocking. The group Kiss took off their makeup moment.
Yes, I love that she's actually getting into new things and exploring new looks. I love it for her. She looks amazing. Whatever she chooses to do is absolutely phenomenal on her.
Now, listeners may not understand this, but you're currently in school because you're studying massage therapy. Once again, that's God working through you. I mean, that's placing your hands on a body that is in question, that's hurting, that has denying life, and you're bringing energy to them.
Yes. And I've learned so much, especially I've always been interested in human anatomy, and I've always been interested in how the body works. I do a lot of research and study on it. So I have my own personal knowledge, and then to add on their knowledge, it opened me up even more. So if I do massage you, just like I choose songs, I make sure that I know what I'm doing so that I can actually fix the problem or at least help it. And I feel like going to school has opened up that knowledge for me. And it is definitely helped. I've massaged a lot of people, and they've all said the same things. Oh my gosh, you have healing in your hands. You're so good. I was like, you're good at everything. I'm not good at everything I do. I just pay attention to what I do, and I perfect it, and I like it. I'm not just doing it to do it.
So now, in the next few weeks, the Atlanta Falcons are going to be taking on the Carolina Panthers. Can you get with the team and tell them, be nice to the Panthers because they're having a really bad season this year? Look,
I might not be one to say anything because I might get canceled if I say what I really. All I'll say is that everybody has a fair chance dealing with the Falcons.
You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. One day we need to meet down there at the Varsity and just sit there and have a conversation and record the whole entire thing about just people watching.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah, because you've got so many stories and so many experiences, and it's like people need to hear your word.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I really would love that. That means a lot to me because I feel like my purpose in life isn't necessarily just to sing, but beyond the mic, beyond that moment, it's to change people's mentality, the ways that they think. If you think differently, you'll act differently and you'll apply your greatness differently. And people have greatness, they just don't know how to use it. I feel like the key to unlock that mystery in their minds, and then they can soar.
I love it. You be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. You too. What a great word.